Edmonton is now a sea of blue, with the NDP and Liberal Party holding on to just one seat each in our city. Joining us now with a take on what's happened and what's next is a consultant with Crestview Strategy, Tom Vernon. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Let's start off with Edmonton Southeast. What is your take on what happened with Amarjeet Sohi there?
Yeah, and look, the Liberals are always going to be in tough getting seats here, anywhere in Alberta, and here in Edmonton as well. The Conservatives had a very motivated voter base to go out to the polls seeking change. Amarjeet Sohi, obviously a well-known name here, has won federally before, won obviously the mayor's chair, but he's also lost federally as well. So I think they felt they had a pretty good chance because it was an entirely urban riding, just like the last time he won. But again, the Liberal government is not very popular here in Alberta. Voters in Alberta have shown that they are ready for change. They want to see a new government in office in Ottawa. So Mayor Sohi was always in tough. So I wasn't overly surprised by that. I knew the Conservative vote was going to be pretty strong here.
Edmonton Centre stayed red. Do you expect that Eleanor Elshevsky there will get some sort of plum seat under Mark Carney's leadership, given that he's from Edmonton?
Yeah, so we'll see how the cabinet shakes out. Obviously, he has to have some regional considerations. With that frustration in Alberta, he's going to want to show that he is listening to voters here. I can't predict whether she'll be in cabinet or not in cabinet, but you have to think her or Corey Hogan is going to have, out of Calgary, is going to have some form of role that will give them some profile. Look, the Liberals, it is a minority government, so they need to kind of think of every one of their seats because I don't imagine it'll be 4 years before our next election. So will she get a high-profile role? That I'm not sure, but I think we're going to see pretty early on Mark Carney kind of come out and go, we need to unite the country, we need to listen to concerns, and we need to push back as one nation against the United States. And look, Alberta is going to play a pretty important role in standing up for Canada's interests.
Now, staying with that, what do you expect between the dynamic, in regards to the dynamic between Mark Carney and our Premier, Danielle Smith?
Look, there's no denying Premier Danielle Smith would have preferred Pierre Poilievre be Prime Minister today, that there be a Conservative majority government. But politically for her, a Liberal government in Ottawa is not the worst thing. I'm saying this politically because, look, there's one thing that, or three things that you can be assured of in Alberta: death, taxes, and a Conservative government going after a Liberal government in Ottawa is really good politically for her. So you're going to see her really stand up for Alberta's interests and stand up for what she believes are Alberta's interests. We saw a preview of that with her list of demands to Prime Minister Mark Carney before the election. I don't think she's going to back off of those. It'll be interesting to see how she puts forward issues of, taking Ottawa out of Alberta. We've heard talks of, could we see a little, shorter path to ballot initiatives, to referendums? We already saw one here on equalization. We've seen the province push forward on policies like trying to form a provincial police force. So I think we're going to see Premier Danielle Smith trying to step up those policy push on more Alberta, less Ottawa. And I don't think we're going to see her be best friends with the Prime Minister, but it will definitely be an interesting dynamic.
Well, thanks, Tom, for joining us this morning and waking up after what was a late night. For more detailed local election coverage, including counts in Edmonton federal ridings, head on over to our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca.